In a small village lived a farmer named Ragav. His life was a constant struggle, not just against poverty, but against the endless judgment of others. Ragav's biggest weakness was his need to explain everything. He believed his words would shield him, but they only made him seem weaker and less trustworthy. One day at the market, a trader falsely accused him of being dishonest. Ragav, flustered, began explaining himself over and over, but the more he spoke, the more the crowd doubted him. The trader sneered. Only cheaters explained so much. Ragav's words, meant to prove his innocence, had become his cage. Later that day, heartbroken, Ragav watched his small, timid goat, Chani, get cornered by a stray dog. Chani was terrified, but she didn't bleat or run. She just stood still, her quiet presence unwavering. Confused by her silence, the dog lost interest and walked away. That moment was a revelation for Ragav. He realized that explaining had never saved him. It had only invited more suspicion and humiliation. True strength, he saw, wasn't in loud words, but in quiet conviction. The next morning, a neighbor questioned why he was late. Instead of launching into a long story, Ragav simply replied, "I was busy." The neighbor was taken aback, unused to Ragav's newfound stillness. People started calling him arrogant, but Ragav knew he was just becoming whole. His new strength was soon put to the test. A government officer dismissed his claim for aid, but this time Ragav didn't plead. He stood calmly, his quiet confidence forcing the officer to reconsider. For the first time, he was seen not as a beggar, but as a man of substance. As the first rains of the season washed over his fields, Ragav felt a sense of cleansing. He was no longer carrying the weight of others' opinions. The final test came back at the market. When another accusation was thrown at him, Ragav looked the person in the eye and said one clear, firm sentence. The crowd, seeing his unshakable calm, sided with him. The truth didn't need 1,000 words. It just needed to stand on its own. Remember this. The moment you feel the need to constantly justify your actions, your choices, or your worth to others, you give away your power. Self-respect is quiet. It doesn't argue, beg, or over-explain. It stands firm, even in the face of misunderstanding. The moment you stop explaining is the moment your self-respect truly begins. Thanks for watching.